Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jam Box.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jam Box. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. I'm never going to learn where they are, and I just appreciate you doing it. I'm glad you're all here. Let's go ahead and get on into today's episode. Here is today's guest.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Momo Slips.
Hello. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. You introduce yourself, where you're from, what you do. Give us that Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
Oh, I like that. The Tinder profile. That's cute. Yeah, so I've been in Portland now 11 years, but I am from Arizona, so I'm kind of a desert boy.
Okay.
Yeah, got tired of the warm, came up here. Love the rain, kind of love that vibe, And I've been making music my whole life, but the last 3 years I finally decided, COVID, all this other stuff was going on. Let's just get the, the Focusrite set up. Let's start recording. Let's start throwing this stuff on SoundCloud, Spotify, throw a little money at it, see what happens.
Yeah.
And things started kind of moving a little bit. And I finally broke out of my little room and started meeting people, Lawrence, other people.
Yeah.
And
shout out Lawrence.
Shout out Lord Lawrence. Yeah, for real. And it's been fun, man. Been meeting a bunch of cool people. The local scene, although it's sad and kind of heavy, the people are so sweet and open, and it's been a good experience.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's how we met.
Literally.
Yeah. I was impromptu running a show for Lord Lawrence. Well, running the sound for a show for Lord Lawrence, and this gentleman as well. And so we got to meet through that. And after the show, we chatted, and now here we are.
Always think the sound guy.
Yeah.
Always think the sound guy.
Thanks. Now, do you play any instruments?
Yeah, man, I play guitar, piano, started off on drums, then you kind of want to start getting the melody yourself. So you get a loop pedal, kind of build it up. Grew up listening to a lot of Modest Mouse and kind of L1011, so kind of did that thing where you kind of blend in, loop your pedal, and then jump on the drums. And
do all the things.
Yeah, it's fun. So now I just do that in my room and just kind of, MIDI keyboard the drum set and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
It's still fun though.
When did you get into music originally?
Oh man, dude, honestly, my grandma bought a little.
Did she buy one of those first act drum sets?
Not even the drums. It's like the I'm having a
steel
brain
drum?
fart.
Marimba?
No, it's like a piano, but they have the things that you hit with mallets. There's a whole bunch of
xylophone.
Xylophone, dude. Thank you. Jeez. Bought me a xylophone, and I was just having all sorts of fun with that, and then bought me some wood blocks and stuff, and then a recorder. So I'd record myself and kind of started doing weird looping stuff even back then, man.
Okay.
So, since a little kid, and then I did, drum band and then jazz band and then marching band and all that stuff.
Okay.
So I've always been around. I've always been kind of a weird band kid, and then kind of hung out with the punks and the skater kids. So kind of blend all those things together.
Gotcha. There's definitely a heavy intersect in those two for sure.
Heavy
for sure.
Huge intersection.
Now, this next question is definitely a bit of a crowd favorite, and I know you listen to the show, so you probably know what's coming up. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
I've been thinking about it, and I can't remember if it was money that I earned through my parents or money that I earned on my own.
Either way, as long as it was your selective choice to take that money and hand it to a person who can sell you things in exchange for music.
It was 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Did your parents know you bought it?
No.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We are 30-0 on that question, y'all. I might need to just bake that in because that seems to be a running thing. I'm waiting to find the one. Is
that follow-up? Did your parents know?
No, that was just one. It's been said a lot, so now I've started to ask it recently, and I think I'm just going to bake it in because it's
it's perfect.
Now, and that 30 is not a real number. I don't know how many times it's been said. If somebody wants to go and backlog that one, I would appreciate it, but that's okay. But yeah, so that's a thing I'm always so curious about. Why that one?
So, well, before that, it was there was this Slim Shady era, and it was totally I want to listen to it because my parents say I shouldn't,
Yeah.
But then 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying, it was like Into Club was the big one. It was so catchy, and like when I was like 8 or 9, it was so cool. I just had Channel 16 was MTV back when it was like, if you got up at like 7 in the morning, they played the music videos.
Yeah.
And that one was like every 14th music video, so you heard it so much.
So much.
Yeah, shout out to whoever was doing their ads or their playtime back in the day. But you learned to love it, and then like the whole album was good. 21 Questions, all those other tracks. That's so good.
Oh, it's definitely a classic.
Yeah, but it's hilarious because that was like my childhood era. Because the one that I earned after like I'm 16 and have a Little Caesars job was I bought the whole Bright Eyes. Whole album set. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a weird.
Yeah.
Some things changed between 50 Cent.
Life happens.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
In middle school, I listened to a lot of like odd electronic music, and then towards the end of it, I like transitioned into rap, and like a bunch of rap, a bunch of hip hop, especially a lot of like the stuff that was around me growing up.
Yep.
And then when I got into high school, I like accidentally made friends with a bunch of these like metalhead kids, and they were like, "Hey, we need a bass player," and I was like, "Okay, hey, Dad, can I have a bass for my birthday?" And so I was in a band 2 weeks before I got a bass. And
what were you playing?
It was like I said, it was just like metal.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah, like.
Well, what were you doing for that 2 weeks before?
Oh, they were just like, cool. Then you're in the band.
Okay,
and that was 2 weeks before my birthday. So I was like, all right. Yeah. I don't know how to do this, but I'll figure it out.
I love that.
And then I ended up going to the same teacher as 2 of the 3 guitarists in the band, because why not have 3 guitarists? Iron Maiden did it.
Yeah.
And Destroy the Runner did it.
We can too.
Oh, and Alisana did it. That's like,
damn.
That's like the 3 groups I could think of.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know anybody else who like actively. I'm sure there are plenty.
You pulled those 3 quick.
I mean, I may have had this conversation the other day, but still, those are the only 3 I can think of off the top of my head.
Oh, that's sick. I was the opposite version, equal but opposite. I was the drummer version of that.
Oh,
the bass and the drummer, we always share
Yep.
similar experiences.
Yeah.
Usually one of those is missing from a band, or one of them is
there's always a demand for one.
Yeah. But it was like, oh, you can play double bass drum consistently about half the time. You're better than...
Perfect.
Yeah.
You understand tempo.
Yeah. Yeah, it just sounds like someone's struggling half the time, because I was, but
I mean,
it was fun as hell, dude. I love in high school playing punk and metal and all that stuff. Go and play like a gig. I was more on like the punk side, but they're smashing all the local bands together, right? So it's like 90% metal, all your boys doing the hair thing in the front. It's fun, dude. And I still love that feeling from metal.
Oh yeah. There's definitely an energy for it. I definitely spanned the gambit of like different styles of music through my like early music, and like especially when I was like in high school and leaving high school and things like that. But eventually I landed on like just like general funk as my like fun to play.
Yes.
But now I do the show full time, so we don't play as much music as we used to, but there's a lot of music.
Yeah.
And that's really what's important. But this isn't about me. This is about you. Let's get back into it. And tell us about your first live show experience, like the first one you went to.
My first live show that I ever went to?
Yeah, that you chose to go to. So not like one that your parents like brought you to, but like the first one where you were like, I want to go to this show, got tickets, went to show.
Oh man, there's so many awesome ones, but I think the one...
What was the first one? The original one, the start.
What the hell was the first one? Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, the one that I really wanted to go to, it was Modest Mouse at the Rialto Theater in Tucson.
Okay.
Yeah, it was such a sick show.
I was going to say, that's a good first show.
Yeah.
That's a good first show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He crushed it. What's his name? Isaac, I think, is the lead singer. I should know that. He's so amazing. I fucking love that band so much.
Yeah.
But, dude, it was classic Modest Mouse. I think at that time, that was like 5 years coming off of Float On. Mm-hmm. So they had another project out. I think they had the oh shoot, I'm having a brain fart again. I can't quite remember, but it was the The second album, what was the one where it's blue?
I don't remember the names of a lot
I'm
of
so
things.
bad with names
Yeah.
and songs and everything. Anyways, they had another album out. It was awesome. So it was a mix between that album, and then they were playing Ocean Breeze Salty, and then they're playing Float On, and they're playing all the original tracks that you love, and it was so sick. And their lead singer's that wild in real life.
Yep.
And this was probably 12 years ago. Went and saw him like a year ago. Crushed it.
Of course.
But the energy's a little bit more chill.
Well,
They're
yeah,
also in Pioneer Square, so they
Yeah.
can't go quite as crazy. But dude, they still got it.
Oh, yeah.
They're crushing it.
Oh, yeah.
No mess ups, hitting the notes, energy the whole time. I mean, although
They have
slightly
a lot
reduced,
of they have a lot of time to
insane.
practice. You know,
Yeah.
they are seasoned performers
Yeah.
as well as talented musicians.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I can only imagine that experience on both times. Actually, it's cool you've gotten to see them more than once in a wider span of time. You know what I mean? If you see a band when they play and then when they play again and then when they play again, you don't see as much of a change. Like you could see
It's so
the
true.
stylistic changes like per like album release.
Yep.
But if you give them like room to breathe,
Exactly.
and it's not to say you shouldn't, but like if you get the opportunity to be like, I'm going to see them now and in like 5 years.
Yep.
That window of time really changes the individual, but your perception stayed the same because you only saw it once.
Yeah.
So sometimes that space can make the heart grow fonder.
Absolutely. And the cool thing is with Modest Mouse in particular, they kept producing.
Yeah.
They still got new tracks.
Oh,
coming
yeah.
out. They're still awesome. It's kind of funny. It's like when it's kind of like when you're around a friend or a coworker all the time for a year or 2 years. You don't notice those gradual changes in them or their personality or their haircut. And then you look back at a photo of when you first met them, you're like, what? This doesn't look anything like you.
Yeah.
Now it's the same thing with music, but it's cool because it's got that whole experience to it, the spiritual, the whole thing.
Exactly.
It's a whole experience, and getting to see it live, a whole nother plateau. So over 10, 11 years, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the shows? And I'm pointing like it's over there in the Pioneer Square, downtown Portland.
I don't think that I have.
Normally, I like the more like the smaller, intimate spots, and then like get some like punk shit in there, and it's so awesome. Or get some rap or whatever, rock, indie shit. I love that intimate space. But for the Pioneer Square, it was really sweet. They kind of filled it up. The energy was good. I was worried that it wouldn't be like enough energy to get the whole crowd going because it's a huge space when you see it with the stage set up.
Yeah.
They killed it.
I mean, I'm
It's
sure
also
they...
Modest Mouse, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure they played in much bigger spaces.
Yeah.
I just imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, dude, I know they live here, but Portugal the Man just played for their new album release at Music Millennium.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, shout out Music Millennium. Shout out Terry. He was a previous guest on the show.
Oh,
you have to
shout
go
out
way
Terry.
back.
Shout out Terry.
Yeah, you have to go way back into the audio cuts, but it's there.
I'm working my way back through the pod.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. Good luck. Let me know how far you get.
Right.
There's been plenty of people that are like, we're gonna start from the beginning. I'm like, you don't have to do that. Start when the interviews happen. That's where the fun parts are.
There is that nice thing about having a podcast that you always know that there's more.
Yeah.
It's so sad. It's like your comfort zone. And when you start to like a podcast and the host, and it's like, oh, these guests are like consistently like fun to listen to, the questions, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, I'm going to keep listening and listening and listening. Before you know it, you're like 6 months down and you only have 3 episodes left. And you kind of get sad like it's the season finale of an HBO show.
Yeah.
You kind of feel lost like the memes when it's like, the meme like when you finish the last episode and it's the guy from Narcos just in the pool. It kind of feels like that, but with podcasts.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, hopefully that doesn't happen to a lot of people with this show because there's a lot. We put out a few episodes a week.
Oh, yeah. Go stream. Jimmy's Jambox.
Thank you for shouting out on my own. No, I'm kidding. Now let's get into some more like you focused question. You as the artist.
Yeah, man.
And let's start with, how did you pick your name?
Yeah, that's funny. So Momo is from Avatar. Obviously, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yep.
I say obviously because there's also that whole Momo. It was unfortunate timing. Do you remember the weird Momo doll thing?
No, I hear
It's
Momo
really
and I think
dark.
of the car parts brand.
Oh, that's awesome.
There
Too.
you go. You can add that to your list.
Yeah, list of things. Search engine optimization.
Shout out Momo. Please sponsor Casey's Garage.
Yes, please. But it's from Avatar: The Last Airbender, obviously, and I got the tattoo on my arm.
Oh,
for it.
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
And it's because it's like it's such a huge, ang in the whole story and how many character arcs there are. It's
Wait,
beautiful.
do you mean Ong?
You son of a bitch.
I can think of 5 people who are going to text me for that bit. Shout out M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, God, so bad. You had it all there. Don't get me started.
We'll save that for the Patreon cut.
Yeah, that's another 3-hour Patreon for later. But like Momo's there for so much cool stuff in this story, so many beautiful character arcs. And I feel like I've gotten to have that in my life and get to see things from a perspective that I kind of observed rather than being a direct influence. But he kind of comes around sometimes and influences the story. Always
shows up at those pivotal moments.
Exactly. Yep. So that's where I try to be. And then the slips comes from, I don't know, since high school. I'm not wearing them today, but normally I'm always wearing slippers.
Oh, fair.
Just kind of cozy, just kind of like before I was on that, kind of hippie vibe. And then kind of started going to school and blah, blah, blah. But the whole time I'm just wearing slippers.
Okay.
I'm kind of cozy. So just,
do you wear slippers on stage?
Slips. I did.
Nice.
I wore the Momo Slips.
There it is.
From Den Detach. Shout out Den Detach.
Shout out Den Detach.
Yeah, big shout out.
All right, dig that. Hell yeah. I guess I didn't look at what was on your feet while you were performing, so I apologize.
No, I'm just dodging.
I was doing a couple
pedals.
things. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the things on the stage.
Yeah.
Now, take us through how you put a song together. Describe your writing process. Do you do you start with like a sound or like a beat, or like do you just like do it in the moment? What do you do to make a song?
So I'm very melody driven. That's what I really feel gets the song going. It's the catchy part. But before that, you have to have that nice foundation. So I always start melodic first, like meaning piano, guitar, things like that, and then go rhythmic. For this project with the Momo stuff, I've been mostly going guitar first.
Okay.
Do a couple different guitars, 1, 2, 3, reverb, start to get that space. And then I'll start to add in percussion. But the percussion kind of gets in the way of the vocals for me. So I usually get the guitars layered. I get any other, pianos, pads, different things like that to fill the space. And then I just start singing.
Okay.
And I got the notes like everyone else does on their phone. So I'm like, oh, no, those lyrics don't work. Those ones don't. That's the rough night. The best is when you get that guitar part laid down.
Yep.
And you just feel, turn on the mic, I have something to go with.
Yep.
Even if the words aren't fully there, if you can feel that melody and kind of get an underlit going, good to go.
Definitely.
And then I add in the drums. Because I find that I go a little crazy with the kicks and the 808s, and then I say words that go against the pattern of the kick rhythmically.
Gotcha.
That just sounds bad, you know?
Now, that's interesting because it sounds like you've been primarily a percussionist.
Yeah.
So, do you think it's that, like,
it's a little backwards.
It almost makes sense because as a percussionist, when playing with other people, you'd usually be playing to what their progressions were.
Exactly.
Because as the drummer, you are dictating the changes of patterns and rhythms and such.
Yep.
So that actually, it makes sense. But it's interesting. And also, I get it now that you explained that last bit. Because up until that point, I was like, oh, well, maybe he just hears melodies better because he can imagine drums underneath. But then you were like, oh, no, I just go ham on the drums all the time. It's cool that you would use the rest of the track to limit how much you can put into the drums. That's a really thoughtful way of doing it.
You said it perfectly.
I like that. Yeah. I like that.
It is a limiting element. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's because come throughout making like a bunch of really bad sounding songs, Yeah. That's the practice. I go back and like look through old songs and, this guitar part's not so bad, but what the hell was I thinking on the drums?
Oh, God, don't even get me started.
Yeah, we all got that,
Well, I mainly use streaming apps on my phone for music. And when my car has an issue with the like direct plug, like if it shakes or something, it does something weird and it disconnects for a second.
Oh my God.
And then it goes back in. It always goes to like the first song on my like music app on my phone. And so it's just a bunch of scuffed like demo tracks because that's the only music I ever like hard copied onto my phone. So it always starts with a
broken every time.
I hear it and I'm just like, oh, this is a rough cut and I missed this band. So it hits hard 2 times. Yeah. Shout out
Twist the Knife.
Shout out Smooth Talk.
Shout out Smooth Talk.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's I know how it goes.
Just hide the pain, Harold. Yeah.
All right, now tell us about your most recent track. Sad News.
Yeah. Yeah, so Sad News came out like mid-May. I was trying to get a little bit more energy going on because I saw it was the Fish Narc show, Wicca Phase Spring Eternal closed out that show and just crushed it. It was sold out. It was beautiful.
Nice.
And he's got a couple tracks that are kind of lower tempo, but the rhythm of the singing and the 808s and stuff and kind of the passing through hi-hats provide this energy. So it's on paper it's slow, but the crowd is kind of amped up because of the, and his performance was awesome.
Of course.
So I wanted to kind of take that slower tempo, but then bring a lot of energy and kind of dancey 808s and stuff to the mix. So I did that, and then it's, kind of like a lot of my other stuff, Sad News. It's based off this other lyric, Bad News and Sad Tattoos.
Oh, okay.
But I kind of flipped it because it's just like I was saying, you got all your notes. And I wanted to kind of, it's a song kind of about when, you're kind of getting manipulated by somebody, but you kind of like it, and you kind of feed into that. So it's about that, and a lot of my other stuff is kind of about, battling addiction, depression, anxiety, with a twist where I want people leaving feeling at least not alone or more positive rather than kind of just focusing on the sad. It's a challenge because it's really easy to just focus on all the bad stuff going on. And when you produce a song like that, the listener is going to focus on that. It's kind of like the news. They don't put happy stuff on the news because people focus on the bad.
Okay. Okay, I dig that.
So it's kind of a challenge, but it's a fun challenge. And I've been enjoying it so far. So that was the kind of idea behind Sad News. And I got to perform that at the show that I opened up for.
Hell yeah.
Again, shout out Lord Lawrence.
Shout out Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shout out Doback for setting up that whole place. It was a beautiful setup.
Yo, shout out Doback. By the time this comes out, his Jimmy's Jambox live session would have come out. So,
oh, dude, perfect.
Yes. Surprise! You're one of the first people. You're one of the first people that will have heard about it.
Yes. Oh, that's gonna be sick.
There you go.
I'm so excited.
So, but that's happening soon. Yeah. Well, that will have happened by the time this happens. But
I love all those guys. Doback and the Doe Band, the whole crew.
Yep. They're performing tonight.
That's right. I saw that.
Yeah. So sorry, Doback.
Yeah.
This is why I couldn't make it.
Sorry. Supporting in spirit.
Yes. Now, do you do any other creative things or projects that you like? Do you have anything else that you work on?
Right now it's just been all into music, and then I flipped over to some video stuff recently.
Oh yeah.
So,
what do you do?
So yes, I do work on other stuff. It's kind of funny when you're so focused on the project, you kind of forget. Oh, that is kind of a different avenue. You know?
Yeah.
But it's this thing I call tapes. So it's going to be season-based, so it's Momo Slips Tapes, Season 1. Just finished episode 10, the season finale, which was Sad News.
Congratulations.
About 2 months ago. Thanks, man. So it's basically going back to that whole list of songs that you got. Everybody's got, hundreds of songs in their freaking files on their computers. You got the keeps, you got the beats in progress, you got the, this is kind of garbage. So I started sorting through those, and I really liked a lot of the tracks, but I wasn't ready to go full single.
Yeah.
So I said, what if I kind of broke this down into 30, 45-second little snippets?
Yeah.
Like a bit of the chorus, bit of the verse, and just shot some videos to it.
Okay.
That could go on Instagram Reels. That could go on TikTok. I've been so bad about uploading on TikTok, but everything's about the Reels now. And I was like, I kind of want to tell this story through visuals.
Oh.
So I kind of made an episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Had some buddies help me out with some nice thumbnails and all that stuff, and kind of ran with it, dude. And by episode 10, it was fun. You're on episode 4 million, so you know how the roll and the rhythm goes, and
exactly.
how life happens. And now I got to shift that by 3 days or a day or an hour, and it's kind of fun. It gets addicting, and you see what you're creating, and you start to feel more proud. And it's like, oh, cool, this is sweet. So now I'm kind of prepping up for season 2.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Now, sorry, I gotta go back here just a second. Oh, now we're getting into the fun ones. The hypothetical questions.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And the first one, as always, if you could work with any one artist who's currently alive, and if it's a band, you got to pick one of the members of the band, who would it be?
Well, that's tough. Currently?
Yep, they got to be alive.
And their current vocal cords?
Yep. Yeah, actually, that was a question somebody asked for definition on that the other day, too.
Because I would love to work with Adam Lazarov, the lead singer from Taking Back Sunday.
But back in the day,
those highs, of course you can't hit those now.
Yeah, but yes, they do.
So that's
present day. Like if you could work with somebody tomorrow,
I would like to work with Bones. because he is much more hip hop and more rap than I am. But that's not that I want to start rapping more, but I want to get more flow and a little bit more of that feel and the rhythm in my songs when I play them live. Because that was something I noticed when I was playing live. I loved the performance. It was so much fun. But I think if I got a little bit more higher energy with the lyricism and the performance, and the performance is also dictated by the song. You can't put super high energy performances to certain low energy songs. It just clashes and looks weird.
Yeah.
But if I kind of, get that song a little bit more energy, get it in my pocket where it doesn't look like cringe and it's actually me, that's sweet. So I'd say Bones, because he's got a lot of really cool songs where they are that slower energy, but his, on the track, on the beat, but his lyrics and everything kind of get you going like this by the middle of the song. So probably something like that.
Okay, I could dig that.
Yeah. If it was Dead, I'd say Peep.
Ah, fair.
Yeah, but that's like everybody's answer in sad boy hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, respect though.
Yeah,
now
that or any of the GBC boys too. But that's like you said individual.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't pick you.
How do you pick?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, who's a local artist that you're like aware of that you haven't gotten to interact yet with, but you would like to?
All the local artists that I know is I met through Lord Lawrence.
Yeah.
So we got Lawrence, Lord Lawrence, Wayne Gray, Kill Maddie, Who the F is, what?
Who TF is Walker.
Who the F
shout
is
out Walker.
Shout out
Sam.
Walker. I'm sorry, I've flubbed that. You're amazing. You're beautiful. Had a great time meeting him at the show. It's such a good crew. So all the people that I am aware of, I kind of met there that night.
That's fair.
I'm super fresh to the scene. Like I said, I've been kind of like just in my bedroom writing for a couple of years and kind of coming out now.
Okay.
So I don't know a lot of the local scene.
Well, it's fun to catch you early on then. We'll have to have you check in every few months and document just where you're at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to come back.
Now, this one's kind of like just an odd broad stroke question. If you had to pick a different genre than any other one that you've performed before. So if it's something you've done in the past, it's excluded. But if you had to pick a different genre to perform, what would it be? And you would be equally as competent as you are currently with whichever one you are most comfortable with.
That's tough. It would have to be energy based because when I'm at the show, man, it's so fun. That's the whole point, feeding off the energy of the band and getting people going. I feel like
so you want to do like ASMR?
Rap. Yes. Honestly, probably some kind of like leftover crack, kind of yelly punk shit like that.
Okay.
Maybe not like as political because that's just not my vibe, but like that kind of maybe like a 10-15% ska element in there.
Okay.
With that just like heavy, and it's like they got the high screams still and the mid screams. I love that shit. That's just like classic me, just like rolling around doing kickflips as a kid.
I could dig that.
Yeah.
I could dig that. Hell yeah.
So probably something like that. Kind of trashy, kind of guttery.
I get you. All right. Now we're going to start wrapping it up. Go ahead and look into the camera and tell us any big things you have coming up, let's say second half of July.
Second half of July, Tapes Season 2 is coming out. It's going to be 10 episodes. It's going to be episode 1 coming out late July. I got a lot of work to do, but you guys are going to be excited. Got some voting on Season 1 tapes, so you guys got to let me know which ones were your favorites, which songs you like the best, which shots you like the best, and which ones you overall mess with the most. And then I got a new single coming out end of July, maybe the next month in. It's going to be called Lips. Working with a couple people down in Texas to be, mixing on this, and you guys are going to be really impressed. Also, working with Dead and Detached on the new album art. You guys are going to love it. Check out Dead and Detached. Check out Lord Lawrence, local shows going on. I hope to be, performing more around the Portland area. So I'll keep y'all posted when I do perform, and I'll keep y'all posted to what's coming up next.
Hell yeah. And how can they connect with you? How can they find you to keep connected with all those things?
Yeah. It's just at Momo Slips _ Momo Slips took the other one. It's a lipstick group, unfortunately. So Momo Slips _ it'll pop up with me and being a little sad boy in the icon.
Hell yeah. And then any other plugs, any other shout outs that you want to put on while you're here?
I want to put on Jordan William Burt, who designed all of my outfit for the show. I want to put on Dead and Detached, who designed the slippers And again, Lord Lawrence and Doback for putting on this show and bringing me into the community. It's been freaking awesome. I'm excited for more.
Hell yeah. Well, this has been a whole lot of fun. We've got one last question. What is your guilty pleasure song?
Oh, man, that's a good one. Taking Back Sunday. Oh, what is it? Your lipstick is collar. Don't bother, Angel.
I don't know the names of things.
Cute without the E.
Okay.
By Taking Back Sunday. That and Helena by My Chemical Romance. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah.
And those two are like back to back in my playlist.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. As long as Dear Maria's in there somewhere. No.
Oh, count me in.
Yep.
Count me in.
Yep. Yeah. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and officially wrap this up. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, do all the things, do all the stuff. I trust you. This has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Momo Slips.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap.